what turned into Thursday, Friday, Saturday was all I lived for, really. It's the whole idea of getting as much down my neck as we could. It's an addiction that's far more commonly accepted, isn't it? I think where I grew up, kind of like a working class area there, everyone's the same. We all just got into drinking right away, and then when I went to university, I just carried that on. I've always kind of like had an issue really with binge drinking, you know, but I've never kind of quite got to grips with it until the last few years. Good times you have a drink, bad times you have a drink. Celebrations you have a drink, funerals you have a drink. Everything's related around having a drink, isn't it? Now, what turned into Thursday, Friday, Saturday was all I lived for, really. It's the whole idea of getting as much down my neck as we could. It's an addiction that's far more commonly accepted. My favourite tipper was Jack Daniels. I used to drink bottles of Jack Daniels, no problem at all, and wash down with a few cans of Heineken. I used to sit there, you know, if I had friends around or something like that, I'd be sat around there long on my own. I didn't need any encouragement whatsoever. It's just identifying them behaviours. It requires quite a lot of self-reflection, but I can't turn around and pinpoint something where I thought, I wish I should have stopped then. I never really labelled myself as an alcoholic. And, you know, it went from socially just to problem drinking. My behaviour when I was drunk, you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's you know, you just feel tricky to get out of. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week hungover. I realised the shape I was getting in, but I wasn't interested, you know. I was like, no, I didn't think it would happen to me. When I was in hospital then, I was in there for 12 nights. Obviously, as I was up in Scotland, a couple of friends came up and visited, but the majority of the time I was sat on my own. I realised then there was the issue, but then I got out of hospital, had a bit of a spell off it, and then went back to it just as bad as I was. That's when I joined the gym. I'm feeling better, stronger, fitter than I've ever been. I mean, I'm 48 in 2 weeks. I'm fitter than I was at 21. I've lost about 4.5 stone altogether, yeah. Getting up and coming to work is not a chore, whereas it used to be, oh, you know, come in on a Monday and I'd just be that tired and still hungover from the weekend that you'd just be watching the clock ready to go home. And it comes to the weekend, I have a big run planned. That run's in place deliberately at the weekend because it keeps me from, you couldn't do that hungover, you know, and it keeps me on the straight and narrow. The biggest thing I took away from it was kind of like put my energy into going to the gym. And I've met people at the gym now who are some of my best mates. I had people saying to me, you know, do you think you're drinking too much? And I was like, no, not really. That's my biggest mistake. I wouldn't acknowledge it. Listen to people and don't be scared to hold your hand up, really.